Ah, okay. Here we go. How are you guys hearing me over on Instagram? And Atlas, how you doing, Erection? Anyhow, how is everybody? This is the live Q&A for demystifying gay porn, as promised every Monday, every first Monday of the month. Right now I have 3 connections, so I have Instagram going over here, I have YouTube over here, Facebook over here. Hopefully you can hear me better on Instagram. Facebook, I am trying. I don't know what's going on with my connection. YouTube, you seem to get the best connections when it comes to this stuff. Anyway, I am here. Let me know if you have any questions. If not, I'm going to go ahead and start with a couple that I've gotten via email, and we'll go from there. But I am watching, and I will get to every one of your questions. Juan GNJ90. Hey man, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've seen your porn and definitely helped me get off. Thank you very much, Juan. I appreciate that. Okay, Instagram, perfect. Beautiful. Okay, that makes me feel better. All right, so let's see what's going on here. I have a couple questions that I put on the side. First, I'm going to get back to a question that was asked the last time around, which was basically who are people I consider heroes. It took me 1 second to, well, not 1 second, it took me a little more than a second to let you know who that was. And basically, it's pretty sad that I couldn't think of it almost immediately. I really had to think about who would be a good, or who would be somebody I consider a hero. That's around now, in my opinion. I mean, of course, you can't. My mother and my father, above all, are my heroes. Composer Jonathan Elias. I thought of performers. I thought George Carlin, Dave Chappelle, politicians, Bernie Sanders, writers, Kurt Vonnegut, Marshall McLuhan, Noam Chomsky, freedom fighters like Tupac Amaru from Peru, not Tupac Shakur, Tupac Amaru, Jose Marti, Joan Halifax, just people that I've read a lot of books and I consider very influential in my life. So that was the first question. The next question that I had received on one of the comments on YouTube was my definition of exploitation. And that's basically something that I'd mentioned before. I don't mean, which, also leads me to something I'm going to make a point of demystifying gay porn. Somebody said that they were afraid of the name, but I'm going to clarify that too. My definition of exploitation is basically when we are using, let's say you're a model and I'm the producer. I know what people want to see and we know what people want to see. I don't care if you're a bottom. I don't care if you're a top. If I think you look like a bottom, we're going to use you as a bottom. And it's mostly the case for tops, actually. But I'm describing that in the sense of, it doesn't matter what I like as a producer. We're going to shoot this for the consumer, right? And a lot of times that can lead to what I consider exploitation. It's this idea that you are using the person not in a bad way. Like, I think one of the things that came up in the question was people were, it's an agreement, which it is. But the thing is even in the agreement, you are still doing something that maybe you are not, that's not the only thing that you can do. You know what I mean? So I hope that clarifies it a little bit. And demystifying gay porn, because I was thinking about this as early as this morning. Yeah, the name demystifying gay porn, I was thinking about changing it because somebody had said, well, I heard demystifying and I didn't want to ruin it for myself. Demystifying is when I was thinking about that, or when it came up to me, and the reason why I thought it was a good name is because you're kind of clarifying something that people don't really get to see. So it's not like, you're tearing it down or deconstructing it in a way that's bad. It's just like, hey, there's more going on, and for some people it might be a turn off, for other people it might be a turn on. So that's my definition on both. What's going on here? Lockdown? Okay, there we go. I have to do something about that. Next, I got an email and it was an email about uh, kiss mark tattoos on models. It said, "Can you shed more light on kiss mark tattoos that models usually have? Is it symbolic or something?" I've seen it. I don't know. I don't know what it means. I've seen a lot of models. So if there is anybody, a model or anything that can shed some light on that, that might know what's going on, please do. That would be amazing. But I've seen it. I think people just like lips, in my opinion. I don't know. Then I also got a question from somebody that said, I also just listened to the Atlas episode where you were talking about the Grant peeps, and he was clarifying it wasn't a house, but some friends. Is this a house thing, or is this house thing similar to ballroom culture? Uh, I think so. I've seen that with a couple of different porn stars or porn celebrities or whatever you want to call them. They do have houses of other performers who take on their name, or they're in their clique or something. But yeah, I don't know if I did. I don't know if I did that any justice. How you doing, people on YouTube? JG asked. This was a good one. I've never been a cum dump, and I would love to be one. Currently in a hotel in the financial district. Can you help me, please? I don't. I don't know when I got that, but I think it's hysterical. This guy. I love these emails because I love that there's a possibility that I might be sitting here saying he's currently in a financial district. Got it. I got to run out and get this and put it together for him. Like that's a lot of work. I don't know if you've ever well, you probably, if you have and you're fans of porn and stuff, and you've seen like a cum dump gangbang or something like that, or that's a lot of work to get a whole bunch of guys to just come and fuck you like out of nowhere, out of the blue. So yeah, so I can't help him. No pictures, nothing. I don't know what this guy looks like, like, but whatever. Omar from Vegas asks me, what is my favorite song from Madonna's American Life album? Because in the last Q&A we talked a little bit about Madonna and stuff like that. She always comes up. You can't run away from this woman. She's everywhere. She's like kind of like Elvis at this point. What Elvis was to those people, she's like air. American Life, my favorite song is Intervention. Awesome album, but that's my favorite song. And then also asked, when is my birthday? My birthday just passed. I just celebrated my birthday on Friday. Went to the Poconos for the weekend. A lot of fun. Good time. So I have a question on YouTube coming in. How you doing, Ernest? How you doing, Louis A. Mango? And Leonard Zhang asks, probably a common question. What do you usually hear from people that went into porn consensually? What motivated them to pursue it? Oof, there's a lot of motivations. I'm trying to think of, well, I mean, making a little extra cash is always something that I hear. Another thing that I hear always is always wanted to try it, and they finally have gotten kind of like the chutzpah to do it. I've never heard of a situation where they were like, I had nowhere else to turn, and I have to do porn. That's it. That's the only thing I can do. I've never heard that situation. That's a fallacy, I think, that exists in the porn industry. But yeah, that's my answer to that. Hopefully that answers that for you, Lemon. How you doing, Instagram? How you doing, Facebook? Guys, any questions you'd like? I hope you all heard the latest podcast with Vic from Beefcake Hunter. That was really, really cool. I got to tell you that I went to Florida just recently with the intent of getting this, and I was getting this interview. I'd been contacting him for a minute, trying to get this interview, and finally we made it happen. It was on a whim. I flew out to Fort Lauderdale, set up my camera. I also made a or I also shot footage for a short documentary featuring Hunger FF, who's starting his own website. It's going to drop soon. So I went not for shooting porn, but for shooting porn related things. I shot the podcast, and what a nice guy! What a nice guy! Vic was an amazing guy. Introduced us to his partner, his boyfriend, and partner in the business. And our plane was at, I think we had to be back at the airport at like 7, and we finished the interview at about 2 or so. And he brought us back and filled us up with champagne and prosecco, and basically, after that we got in the car or got in our car and drove to the airport. So yeah, he was really, really cool. It was very nice meeting him. Okay, don't be shy. Ask me a question. That's what I'm here for. I'll drink my scotch while I wait. I kind of wish I could play music too in the middle, but I don't know how all their copyrights and stuff would feel about that. Okay, Leonard. Has there been backlash from those who have dived into porn? Yeah, I think so. I think that it happens on more levels than not just uh, people that are in front of porn, people who are uh, behind the scenes, and like I have seen or heard of people who have been producers or have worked for a porn company who, if they put that on their resume, it's kind of like, we're not feeling it. So I have heard that. Models, yeah, and I don't usually get to know if that happens or when that happens until I haven't seen them in a long time, and they explain what's been going on, and so I haven't really heard a lot of personal stories. But I mean, watch Boogie Nights and watch all those movies that was happening in the 70s and the 80s and 90s, and I think it wasn't until we finally got a president who had bareback sex with a porn star, that it kind of became one of these things that it's like, oh, okay, it's okay. And a lot of times the people that you hear in all these scandals and stuff are usually the Republicans who are caught with a whole bunch of men from like Rent Men, Rent Boy, Grinder, and there's so many stories like that. So I'm going to go to Juan, and then I'm going to go back to YouTube. Juan asks, did you have to go to school to become a porn star, or did you? What level of education is needed for the industry? I've always been curious about that. Well, I'm not a porn star, but I don't think I think there's just the education of, you get a good education in life to become a porn star. I think you have to be in that mind frame or that place where you're like, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do this for my own reasons. I know that there are people that get into it much sooner than they should, and that's I think is detrimental, but it could also make or break somebody, make them stronger. So yeah, there's no level of education. I mean, nobody checks bachelor degrees and shit like that. I mean, I went to school for communications and film studies, and I guess this helped, that helped get me this job, if anything. Okay, so Louis A. Mango asks, with models, when they do their STD test screenings, is there like a class or summary of all STDs you can get or how you can get them? And what is the aftermath if you do get them? Okay. There's no class for STD screenings and stuff like that. This is where our education system has failed us in the sense of sexual education and stuff. I don't know what's going on now, but I'm pretty sure that when I was in school, our sex ed class or our health class was about a week of information that really didn't do anything but try to make you think that you should probably not have sex without a condom or the girl will get pregnant. STDs, from here and there. There is no summary of all the STDs you can get. I think what happens is you kind of just have to assume that these, like, hey, you're getting into this. There are risks. There are stuff that can happen. And there's that, or there's also the honor system where a lot of the straight porn models will have this honor code where they don't have sex outside of the industry. And what's the aftermath if you get them? Yeah, those are not a lot of conversations that I have with models. Fortunately, I have had one or two, and they basically go to a clinic and they get their penicillin or whatever it is that they do. If it's anything like HIV and stuff, a lot of these guys are mostly a lot of these guys are on PrEP at this point, so that protects them from HIV infection, but definitely not from other STIs. Okay, so no porque me enamoro asks, and that means no because I'll fall in love, I assume. Is there any famous porn actor that you know about that has trouble to adapt to the new way of making porn? I mean, creating content for fan sites. Yes. I don't know if I'm not gonna name them. It's yeah, I don't know if it would be becoming of me to name them. But yeah, I mean, even I, like, whenever something new comes up, I have to kind of um go in and figure out how everything's working, what people are doing, what methods they're using, and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that there's I would say it's a learning curve, and some people either want to take it or they don't. It's kind of like grandparents or parents. After a certain point, they just don't want to learn anything else about uh, TikTok or uh, Twitch, which I still have to get on, and just Reddit and stuff like that. Reddit, I know Reddit's been around for a long time, but Reddit's like blowing up like crazy. Um, but yeah, I think it's more of a learning curve, if anything. Hey, Omar, how are you? Thank you very much for the birthday wishes again. Um, who's got a question? Let's do it. It could be new models or anyone else you want me to get. Oh, by the way, I don't know if anybody knows this, but the next episode is the last episode, and that is my interview with Boomer Banks, who was really, really cool. It was awesome speaking to him. And yeah, once we got everything taken care of in regard to setting it up and stuff like that, we showed up, we set up cameras, and we got our podcast with him. So that's coming up this week. And then after that, I will be trying my best to put together all of these videos that I have kind of like researched and put aside. The first thing I have to do is take care of this Hunger FF documentary. And it's a short documentary. It'll premiere on his website, but it'll also be entered into like film festivals and stuff. It's very interesting. What that man does with his body is very, very interesting. Okay, so Lloyd DJ74. Why do you think bisexuality is still considered taboo by many studios when models like Wolf Hudson are doing well with the genre? Okay, so bisexual porn, from what I gather, I love, by the way, I love bisexual porn. I think it's amazing because it combines the two best things that I know. Porn growing up, because I watched straight porn, and then adding another guy, and holy shit, the two guys are touching each other. Like, that's fucking amazing. AIDS, HIV/AIDS. I mean, there was a huge, anytime a performer, a female performer, or just a straight performer or a bi performer, actually more female performer, had to kind of had to have sex with somebody that was going to like a bisexual person who's having sex with a man too. It introduces that whole other level of stigma with HIV and AIDS, and I think we're finally past that because yeah, it's doing really, really well. Biphoria porn, awesome. Um, Ernest Ernest Gardner asks, "What about my question about group sex?" Oops, sorry about that. Hold on one second. Let me backtrack. Why are there so few group scenes? I love gangbangs. Why do so many bottoms wear jock straps? Okay, so that's a couple of questions. All right, so let's go ahead and start with let's see. So why are there few group scenes anymore? Well, I mean, this whole year has been very, very tough, as we all know. A lot of guys, personally for myself, I don't want to be in the same room with like 8 to 10 guys during a pandemic where I'm, very fortunate uh, not to have been crazy sick or anything, but uh, yeah, I think there is just that fear of, hey, there might be something going on. Um, Somebody might have COVID. That was a big thing. And why do so many bottoms wear jock straps? Okay, I don't. From my assessment, a lot of bottoms that I've worked with, and some have verbally told me, or vocally have been vocal about it. A lot of bottoms, or they wear this particular one in particular, wears a jock strap because while he's getting fucked, he can't get hard because it's too much to deal with. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, he can't. He doesn't really get hard when he's getting fucked. So he wears a jock strap and covers it up. Other times, people just like jock straps. And yes, I'm in my garage. I've been working. This has been my pandemic project, and it's basically what you see here is I've made an office right in front of me, TV, sound canceling, my speakers and shit, and then behind me is like a little seating area and a gym, which is very important nowadays, um, especially if you do not have a gym to go to. So yes, I am in my garage or my converted garage. Louis 8 Mango asks, with models. Oh wait, okay, I already saw that question. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so Louis 8 Mango. When models have a hairless ass, do they wax or shave more because they look very clean? And have you ever seen a model shave right before a scene? Yes, I have. I've seen models shave right before the scene. Uh, Usually that's happened when a model has not known that they're going to be in the scene and they have to kind of step in. Uh, so yes, and do they shave? Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of them shave. A lot of them wax. It's their personal thing. My relationship with my father is a question in YouTube with Priyd Oxine. My father's great. I was just talking about him before. He's the funniest man I've ever met. Uh, he gave me my sense of humor, and uh, yeah, he's a cool guy. And he's really really cool. When I told him I was working for a porn company, first and foremost, when I came out, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? YouTube is YouTube is a bit hateful today, huh? I didn't even notice that. Good for you. If your God hates fags, it's not my God. So good for you. Have fun. If your God hates anybody, it's antithesis of what God is, unless you're reading the First Testament, which even that has fucking morals and stories. Um, so yeah, so my father's awesome. He was. Um, I kind of didn't even have to come out to him. He came to my room and said, "Hey, if you're feeling certain ways or anything, just know that I'm your father and I love you no matter what." Unlike this guy's God. And he was really really cool about that. So when I got into porn, I had to pull him aside and say, "Hey, by the way, I'm working for a porn company." And he's like, "Is it the mafia?" And I'm like, "No." And then he said to me, "Okay, well, as long as it's not the mafia, I'm fine," which was really, really, really cool. Um, so let's see. Blow a kiss to the camera, my boy. Jeez. Okay, so I think we need a mod. I don't know how to start moderators, but I'm okay with it now. It's fine. I've come across a lot of worse people. People that'll do it to my face, that have the balls to say it to my face, as opposed to saying anything um, online. Come to my house. Come to my house and say it. Uh, let's see. Hassan Piker in the house. How you doing, Hassan? Korag boys. Okay. Yeah. Jeez. I had no idea. Wow. Okay. Well, you know what they say. If you're pissing somebody off, you're doing something right. Okay, so Omar, what do you think of Mike Dozer and his scandal? Are models with past criminal history rehirable in the industry? Mike Dozer, man, that was kind of fucked up. That was, it's, you see everything and you're surprised and then you're not surprised. Um, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's awful. Crossing state lines, I think, right? That's what he did. Cross state lines to get to talk. He was talking to a teenage kid or something like that, which it's very, very fucked up. I feel like any person with conscience and like any decent person, that's fucking awful. And wait, what was the second part of that? Oh, are models with past criminal history rehirable in the industry? Well, we don't do that much of a background check when it comes to that stuff. Yeah, that's a good question, but yeah, we definitely don't do that much of a background, and I think word gets around too. So a lot of times you'll hear you'll hear, hey, well, this person, you cannot work with this person. Okay, so let's see. How's Dark Boy Summer thus far? I don't know what that means. Okay, Reagan backwards. Oh, geez. Okay. Can you report? Can you report Hassan Abi for sending races to your stream? Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it's these guys are fucking nuts. Okay, so have you ever done a scene with? I don't know what that means. How do you feel about? I don't know who is a real question and who is not a real question anymore. That's quite interesting. For those of you who are not trolls on YouTube, would you raise your hand, please, so I know who I'm answering and who I shouldn't answer? Yes, Kyle Henry Hodges. Ha ha ha. Why are haters even watching? They obviously need some sort of validation for their fragile little egos and self hatred. You are awesome. Thank you for your amazing work. Thank you very much, Kyle. I appreciate that. It's true. I'll tell you something about these guys that troll and whenever you're at a gay pride event or whenever you're at an event, and my example is primarily New Orleans, right? So I go to Southern Decadence. I've been to Southern Decadence, and you have all these people love good things, and then from a distance, like literally in the corner, in the middle of the street, you see all these people with their God hates bags and this and that. You're going to hell and blah blah blah. They go to so many events. They go to more gay events than I do. That's a question that they should ask themselves. Yeah, Juan, it's just insecurity. I absolutely agree with you. Okay, so let's see if I can get some real questions out of this. So Lloyd, DJ74, how often do you encounter temperamental, difficult models? Not very often, but when it does happen, I basically I don't work with them anymore. Yeah, I'm fortunate enough to not have encountered too many difficult models. Crackling Crow, top or bottom? Verse, believe it or not, verse. Okay, so thank you very much, James. I appreciate that. Joe, how are you? Nick R, how are you? Okay, so Ernest, there is a guy from Falcon, I think, who was in prison a few years back, but who is back working for them. Huh, interesting. I don't know who that is, but yeah, sometimes stuff like that happens. Any plans for Pride Month? Uh, Pride Month. No, I went to Poconos Pride in Pennsylvania. That was pretty cool. It was my first time. It was very nice getting out of like the New York City area and seeing that there is a lot of really cool people out there. Thank you very much, Juan. I appreciate that. Okay, so sorry about the last question. How sometimes politics can get people angry. Um, real. Any plans for Pride Month? Anti Joe. Show your blowout asshole. I don't know a blowout asshole, Anti Joe, but show me yours. Have you ever worked with Ski Mask Andy? I heard he's big in the biz. I have not worked with Ski Mask. Andy, love your podcast. Been binging on them for the last few weeks. Thank you very much, Mr. Xylophone. And like the stream, by the way, the trolls are dislike bombing. What are you gonna do? The streets are pressed tonight, aren't they? Yeah. Imaginary MDA. By the way, you mentioned talking to LeGrand Wolf. Is he coming up on the podcast or no? He is. He is going to be. Actually, I'm supposed to email him and set it up, so it's on balls in my court again. But yeah, he'll be on the show. He will be on season 3 though, and I'm planning on doing kind of the same thing that I did with Vic, where I go there, and if there's a tour of a studio I can get, I'll get a studio tour, and then I'll go in and I'll talk to them. Ernest, how is New York these days to visit? Are the guy bars worth a visit? I have not gone out yet. Moist while describing beefcakes. Moist beefcakes. Stop talking ASMR. Okay, Anti Joe. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, so yeah, so New York. New York is good. I mean, I haven't gone to a bar in New York since the pandemic started, so I don't know, but I have seen posts that says or that say that the bars are open. So yeah, give it a visit. Why not? Louis Mango question here: with Adult Stars and Pride, how does that work? I mean, do you have booths or have a fan signing to promote them and the company they work for? I don't. A lot of times, like the way it's working now, or the way it's been working for a long time, and I'll get back to you in Instagram. The way it's working now is porn stars just come to Pride. It's a very good time to, if some of them escort, if some of them do other stuff, it's a very good time to be wherever the Pride happens to be and however popular the Pride has to be. How you doing, Marco? And if a studio is doing a float or something like that, they are most definitely, or probably, it's either in their contract or they're getting paid by the studio to be there. Ciao, bello. Let's see what's going on here. Do you like to use poppers? Any favorite brand? I don't. They kind of, it's a little too much. It makes my head spin and stuff. And usually whenever I'm doing a scene or something like that, especially in the beginning, I tried poppers, I tried Viagra, I tried Cialis, I tried everything just to kind of get an idea of what the models were feeling or when they were going to feel something. I know everybody's different, but I just, it makes it easy for me to understand or comprehend. I had a question here about models. Have you ever seen, or have you ever been to South Africa or done any videos with South African models? I have not been to South Africa, although I'd love to. And models, I can't say off the top of my head that I have. When am I going to interview Drew Sebastian? I will. I don't know where Drew is, but I definitely will at some point. Or I'll at least I'll make the effort of reaching out. I have not worked with him. He's worked for the companies that I've worked with, but yeah. Kobe Keller. I think that would be a very interesting interview actually, because I kind of feel like he's the hold on. I don't know if I want to say with all these Trump supporters in the live stream over here, but let me just look this up real quick. Okay, so Kobe Keller from Sean Cody, from Sean Cody fame, who, I don't know, did he wear a hat or something like that? I'm not sure what he did, but he was yeah, you know what? I would love to interview him. I'd love, everybody has how they feel. Just because I interview somebody doesn't mean that I feel the same way. Okay. I just think that it'd be a very interesting thing to get out, and maybe it's a different way of understanding somebody. James Donald, I really wish that you would do a podcast revolving around classics of gay porn. Joey Stefano, Mike Henson, Brett Winters, and Jeff Stryker. James, what I've been trying to do, and what I have a segment, or a segment of shorts that I want to do called post porn, and basically it would be just catching up with models that are interested. Same thing, they would have to be interested, and they'd have to be they would have to agree to want to talk. So I'm working on that. Let's see what's going on here. Good night, Juan. Thank you very much. Until next time. Okay, so back to that conversation. So he does not regret that vote. Okay. Kobe Does America was pretty iconic. Okay. Alex Romero, what do you think of openly gay performers in bi or straight scenes? I personally love it, but apparently there's a lot of backlash every time it happens. I don't know. We live in a world now where people are just having sex with whoever the fuck they want. And I think it's cool. I don't have a problem with it. If it's not bothering you, then leave it alone. Go, I always see it the opposite way around, Alex. What I see is usually people do gay porn. Like, I've seen models, I just saw it today, models that do gay porn and have a huge career in straight porn, but they're just doing it under a different name. But it's a model. You can Google them. I'm going to do a top 10 list, possibly too, because I've discovered so many other models that have gay porn start. It's nothing new. It's just, I see that more than I see gay performers doing straight scenes. They definitely do bi scenes though. Okay, so Ernest Gardner. There is a porn MD on Med Twitter who has specialty in toxic substances who recently wrote something about why one shouldn't use poppers. Most negative due to heart issues. Okay. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And if you're out there and you do use them, never use them with a stimulant like Viagra or Cialis or anything like that. It's really not good for your heart. Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with poppers. Do what you got to do to get off in your own bedroom. Where nobody can tell you what to do. And yeah, that's how I feel about that. Any more questions? I can answer. No. I'm trying to think of. Okay. Here we go. I use poppers and Viagra. James Donald, do not use poppers with Viagra. Because you can be using them now, but I don't know how much longer you can be using them. Like that's not something you should be doing. Imaginary MDA. What's your that's not me telling you what to do in your bedroom. That's basically me just saying, hey, be careful. That can be kind of. I've seen models go to hospitals for that with very very bad symptoms or whatever. Just take it easy. Imaginary MDA. What's your advice for conscious porn consumers? What's your advice for conscious porn consumers who don't have a lot of money to support creators? Wow, that's a great fucking question. Basically, you don't want to steal, is what you're saying. I don't know. I don't, and it's really, really hard because a lot of times you find these models. You know what? If you really, really like somebody, pay for it. They'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate it. But make sure you find somebody that you really like. And don't ask them. I've seen a lot, or I've heard a lot of models talk about asking them for a preview of the site before they pay. I get it. You want to see it before you buy it, but I don't know. It doesn't work the same in porn. So I would say if you really like somebody, pay for them. Just in moderation. You don't need to have 10 to 12 people you're following. Let's see. Louis Mango asks, have you heard of anyone breaking their willy? Only one person, and it wasn't in front of me. I had already met him, and he had a pump in his dick that made him hard. So he would literally, it was the craziest thing ever. It was a first for me. But basically, this guy had, I don't know, something, and it was almost like a pump, like you didn't hear it, didn't make the sound, but it got hard. It was crazy. So I haven't seen them break their willy. I know it happens. It can happen to anybody. Let's see what's going on here. Opinions, Top Cat, dirty. Opinions on the drama between Dolph Dietrich and Jack McEnroe. I mean, I think I've worked with Dolph a lot. I know he's a good guy. I don't think it's real. I hope it's not real, but I don't think it's real. I think it's just a product of a really bad night, let's say. But the thing is when you have bad nights, you really can't take shit back. Like you can't be having this private stuff aired out, or even if it's not real, you can't have all this shit out there and then expect people to just go back to being like, hey, I'm okay with that. It's a lot. I wish them both well. I don't know Jack McEnroe, but I wish them both well. Any upcoming scenes you will be shooting? I actually have to put together a whole bunch of scenes. And thank you very much, Donald. I appreciate that. I have to shoot scenes next week. I have to put together a whole bunch of stuff. But I have an awesome scene with Alessio Vega and Romeo Davis coming out. It's going to be on a movie called Manhandled. It's got a little bit of fisting, a little bit of everything, and it's really really hot. Drew Dixon is in it too, and Alex Tikos, and there's a lot of really really good people in it. Vajra, how do you feel about porn that's directed to have a storyline? I like it. I do. If it has, the actors, and if it has the right everything right, awesome. A lot of times, what I've seen happen is somebody will cast people and then tell them that there's a storyline, and that's not cool because these people weren't expecting to do it. But the major studios, they do have storyline. I prefer minimal storylines because then, funny enough, the models don't have to say anything. So if they're not a great actor, awesome. But what ends up happening is with less lines, they have to act more because facial expressions and shit like that. So they end up being good actors most of the time. Thank you for that question, Bajra. Any other questions I can answer? I feel like the room got a little lighter. That's nice. And whatever, whatever people's people's personal opinions and stuff. It's sad, but what are you gonna do? Okay, so I have a question here from George Pacheco. Do you know what happened to Daddy Muggs? I have to look that up in real time. Daddy Muggs, I don't know his name, unfortunately, so I don't. I don't know. I've never worked with him. Not really sure. I can check into it and see what happened, but yeah. Any other questions? See, this is what I'm saying. This would be a perfect time to play some music and stuff. I'm gonna look into that. That'd be fun if, like, I don't know, a podcast channel gave me, like, oh hey, yeah, while you do this, you can send stuff or royalties and stuff to Britney Spears and shit like that. Kyle Henry Hodges. Do you think big studios can compete with models setting up their own sites and producing their own content? Should they start rethinking their content production platforms? Um, I mean, yeah, they can compete because they have the money to compete. Where they can't compete is they're not necessary anymore. It might be now, like they're still around, and I've gone back and forth with this, and I just see so many different things because you have to think about that. Like right now, I kind of don't want to work with OnlyFans models anymore because a lot of them aren't porn stars, and a lot of them don't want to be porn stars. They just want to make their money, and that's fine. But yeah, I have this gut feeling that studios are now on OnlyFans. I don't know if you've noticed that, but there are a lot of studios that do put their videos up on OnlyFans, and why it's kind of like why go to the middleman? What producers are now going and finding models on Twitter. I know because I'm guilty of that too. I go out on Twitter and I find them, and that's how I work with them. But like I said, we have a whole casting department filled with like hundreds of people that send their pictures and stuff. I'm gonna start working with them more because it's a different it's a hustle, but it's a different hustle altogether. And yes, studios should start thinking about how they're going to do, be it content sharing and stuff like that. Yeah. Let's see what's going on here. James, do models enjoy smelly, musky balls, or am I the only one? Well, James, you're not the only one. However, I don't know. I think a lot of times when models get their call sheets or they know who they're working with, they will talk to each other and kind of gauge what they like before they step on set, which is really really cool. And I think I don't get a lot of musky balls on set, but they do exist and people do like them. So you're not alone at all. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. What have you seen models who haven't recently worked together do to create chemistry? Well, Lloyd, that kind of goes into that question, where you get the level of entertainer by what they do, right? What they do when they walk in. And one of the things they do when they walk in is, well, after all the paperwork and all that stuff, and they start taking their clothes off and jerking off and shit, they walk up to each other and they ask each other, okay, so what do you like? What do you? And if they don't do that, um, the first thing that I do is go through a list of things like, okay, well, what do you like? Do you like ass eating? Do you like dick sucking? Do you like? Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Do you stay hard in this position? Do you do this? Do you do that? It's a lot of different questions beforehand. It doesn't sound sexy, but it makes everything a lot easier. But yeah, they also contact each other, and they pretty much know. They watch each other's scenes beforehand, if anything, or they know of each other beforehand, and they get into it like that. What is your okay? So Ernest, what is your favorite drink? That is well, today I'm doing whiskey because uh, well, just because I like a little whiskey with a couple pieces of ice just to like cool me down or calm me down because shit like this is nerve wracking for me as well. I enjoy talking, but you never know what you're gonna get. Okay, so Julio Bradford, if you had a male cousin or a male nephew who wanted to follow you in your footsteps and get into the gay porn business, would you support them? Um, I would, only because I'd want them to work with me. I'd want to work with them and be like, hey, this is what we're gonna do, and uh, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make stuff happen. Um, yeah, I don't. There's nothing wrong with this industry. There's nothing wrong with this industry at all in the sense of you're gonna make your money. Like it's a business just like anything else. Um, where it gets shitty is when a lot of people are involved, and in everything people are involved, and you're always gonna get different personalities and stuff, um, and then what people will think of it. But like I said, I think that we're living in a world that's post, or at least closer to post shame when it comes to um, porn. So Ernest, when are we getting to see? When we're going to see your boyfriend? Oh, so funny enough, um, he was going to join me on this Q&A, um, but he had to do. Well, he couldn't be here. Basically, he had a late meeting, and by the time he got here, it was just like, like not feeling it tonight, which is cool. But maybe he'll come on the next show, which maybe I'll have in July. I don't know. If you guys want a live Q&A, I'll do a live Q&A in July. Um, that might be cool because if I do put up some videos, that would be great because I can get your feedback on it. Omar Soto, do you want kids? I do. I do want kids, and I wanted them more uh, when I was younger. And the only reason I say that is I don't want to sound like a shithead, but I feel like there's definitely an overpopulation problem. Uh, I would rather be able to adopt a kid and raise them. To be honest with you, there's plenty of kids out there that need a good home. We don't hear about it as much as it's out there, and I would love to do that. Ernest, I am amazed that Drew Dixon and Romeo can still function in daily life. The work they work and do scenes, it seems like every day. I agree with you. I asked them that question when they were on the podcast. They really, really enjoy. Um, yeah, they really enjoy what they do. Ernest, it sounds sexy as fuck. You're asking questions to model. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. You're talking about the questions that I asked them. Imaginary MDA. What is the legal situation with the whole step thing? What is and isn't allowed in depicting family fantasies? Anything is allowed. You just can't, like, in certain states, you just can't do it. Um, yeah, I mean, that's all Second Amendment, and I'm sorry, First Amendment. Um, you can do it. It's a fantasy. You're just providing a fantasy. Where it's different is people really didn't cross the line uh, in that sense. I mean, there's been stuff out there that's family related, and I'm not talking like stepdad and stepmom and shit like that. I'm talking like full on dad, full on mom and stuff in European countries and even here. Um, I'm thinking of this movie. It was from the 80s. I remember I didn't watch it in the 80s, but I watched it in like 2010, 2011, and it's called Taboo. It's a straight porn. I thought it was I the thing that made it hot was the fact that it was like that they went there. I was like, damn, they don't give a shit, man. Good for them. But you know, it's a fantasy. That's the thing is you have to be able to separate that. Let's see what's going on here. James Kiefer, do you have any pets? Are you an animal person? We have a lab mix with I'm not sure named Graham. He's awesome. Uh, so yeah, I do like pets. George Lynch, love your series. What is the music you play at the start of each episode? That I can tell you now. That's the second time that question's been asked. I got it from a stock house, um, and I heard it and I was like, okay, this is it. This is the one. Uh, I think it's called Tomahawk or something. I'll tell you right now though. Music. So the artist is called Apache Tomahawk, and the song is called Housework. Yeah, so that's the one. Julio Bradford, have you ever interviewed Miles Landon? I have not. What can you tell me about Miles Landon? Google. Let's see. While I'm looking this up, James, how does one get involved in the industry from behind the scenes? By no means do I want to be a model. Um, let's see. Also, have you heard of Davy Wavy or Himeros TV? And what do you think? Um, how do you get involved in the industry? I don't know. I answered a Craigslist ad, so it's you kind of get brought into the stuff, or if you do see, I remember Lucas Entertainment had a post at one point that I also tried to, um, I submitted my resume for. So yeah, I think you just have to, I don't know, you have to be at the right time at the right place, I guess. Um, Davy Wavy or Jimenos TV. Jimenos TV, I have seen their stuff. It's really really good. I like it. Um, I like the style. I would love to get into that. There's a couple of things that I did before that were a little more thematic, but I kind of just have to do what I have to do at the moment until otherwise. uh, so if you interview Legrand, maybe you can also have him on with that guy that looks like he's 11. Oh, okay. So you're talking about a model, and his name is I can't remember, but it's their more popular model. I know who you're talking about. Well, if they're in the same place, yeah, I'd love to interview him. They're I think they were the no, not him, but uh, he was a star of Family Dick, I think, right? And now he does a whole bunch of other stuff. Excuse me. Who in the industry has a great business sense? There's a lot of them. Drew Dixon. I don't want to not name, or I don't want to forget somebody basically, but the one that always comes to mind is Drew Dixon and sorry about that, Drew Dixon and just somebody the other day who I think was on the podcast. Um, let's see, let's look in the archive. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll do Who do I think in the industry has a great business sense from this past season? Hunger FF is out of control with his business. Like he is so good at what he does. So yeah, I appreciate that. Seth Knight is good at the industry too. Drew Dixon. Let's see. Well, all of these guys are. I mean, that's why I'm talking to them. But when it comes to like fan content and stuff, yeah, Hunger FF and Drew Dixon stick out to me only because of the way they described what they do and how they do it. Mr. Xylophone Austin, that's right, Austin, not Austin Wild. I can't remember. Okay, so do you ever? Okay, Omar Soto, do you ever plan on relocating, or New York City will always be home? Well, I live in New Jersey. I'm on the outskirts of New York City. I lived in New York City for a while. I didn't like it, just because I grew up in a very urban environment, and it was kind of the same thing. I kind of came up here to escape, like all that craziness. I could always have it for a couple of hours and then just come home. But yes, I would love to, not, if not relocate, definitely go somewhere else for a while. Not just up and pick everything up and leave everything, but I have thought of Nevada. I absolutely love Nevada. I love New Orleans. I love Massachusetts. I love upstate New York, Pennsylvania, certain parts of it for sure. Chicago is beautiful. It's just too fucking cold. San Diego, I would move to in a heartbeat. Let's see what else. Austin, Texas, I've heard of. I've only been to Houston, but yeah, I'd give it a shot. I'd love to look at Washington, and I'd love to look at yeah, Washington, Seattle, and all that stuff. And how can I forget Portland, right? Everybody talks so well about Portland. I'd love to know why. Next question. Do you ever go to the Village? I do, not as often as I used to before, but even then that wasn't a lot. That was like I would sneak into bars in the Village at like 17 just to go there and like experience and be like, wow, what's going on? Like gay people, you know? But I wouldn't say that I hung out in the Village all the time. Okay, Ernest, thank you for being such a great guy. You are welcome in my home anytime. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Julio Bradford. There was a gay porn star from the early 80s that I liked. His name was Josh Kincaid. Sorry, guys. Let's see who Josh Kincaid is. Let's see. Okay. So Josh Kincaid, do you know where he is and what he is doing now? I don't, but you know, stories like this I love. I love looking up, uh, you know, where people are now. Maybe it's because I'm like, what's going to happen to me in like 20 years and shit. But no, that's not why. I'm very comfortable in my capabilities. Let's see. Yes, I will. So I will keep Josh Kincaid's name open, and I'll find out what happened. Austin Locke. There you go. The Grand Wolf doesn't often go by his first name. Ernest. Hunger FF is the different name of the guy who worked for Raging Stallion and Steve Cruz. This is correct. He used to be. What's I know this. I just spoke to him about it. What's Captain Marvel's last name? I can't remember now. Oh, R.J. Danvers. That was his name. He was Hunger FF used to be R.J. Danvers. Okay, imaginary. I just watched a video about all the early gay porn stars who died. So many gorgeous Gorgeous people die to AIDS. So sad. It is. It's very sad. Um, I think it's sad for so many reasons because a lot of our generation grew up with not a lot of people that they can kind of have them lead the way, if anything, to what it's like to be a part of the gay community that's not hurting and in pain and suffering from people that they lost that were in their 20s and 30s and all ages. But yeah, Omar Soto, are you able to talk about model pay rates? Who is the best paid in the industry? Does it depend on condom or bareback scene? I won't specifically talk about pay rates, but they can range between anywhere from 300 to 2,500. 2,500 is being awfully generous. And that always, it's not awful if you think about the amount of time that they spend in a room. So you have to think about that as well. Who is the best paid in the industry? I would like to think bottoms get paid better, but I've met some bottoms and they're like, no, that's not true. So maybe it's the tops. I'm not sure. I think the person that gets paid the best is the person that knows how to be able to negotiate. Yeah. So it's 11:30. I will take a couple more questions. Don't be shy. Ask me whatever you want. And yeah, let's see what you guys got before I sign off. Oh, I think I have, what? I think there's stuff on my board that's a laugh track. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but like I could be doing this corny shit all the time while I'm talking to the models, but I feel like I wouldn't be paying attention then. Yeah, a whole bunch of crazy shit. I'll tell you what though, there's one thing that I added because I just love it. Okay, so yeah, one of the things that I can tell you about the first season was I needed something that was like very catchy for the promos for the end. So there's this I was about to do a Brenda one, that's so funny. But before I do, there was this model. There was no wait. What am I? Okay, so Mickey Avalon, right? I needed something to pull people in with the promos and stuff. And Mickey Avalon's this guy. He's an independent artist from California, and he's fucking amazing. I fucking love his music. And he has this song called Dolly Parton. So I put this at the end of the previews, if I'm not mistaken. Dollar, 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 dollar bills. Take your clothes off. Pay the bills. Take your clothes off, pay the bills. I couldn't think of anything more perfect than that. And then this year I did the dope shit one. And then, I mean, I'm sure these are short enough for me to not get sued by anyone, but I just thought, hey, if I ever do interject with a model or something like that while they're talking and they say something funny about somebody.
I don't know why you hang out with her. She is such a hoe.
So I love the scary movie movies, the ones that would parody Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer and stuff. And Brenda Meeks is one of the best characters, and it's one of those things that sticks with you. So.
For all y'all talkers up in here, time to keep it down right now.
So yeah, so that's me just fooling around with all the shit that I have here. Let's see. I got a couple more questions over here. Ernest, have you ever Have any models ever asked you to jump in the scene? Yes, a couple times, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's very flattering, but I do not. I'm not. That's not who I am. Let's just say that. Um, there is a certain amount of professionalism, yes, even in porn, that you have to keep when you're doing this. Not everybody follows it, and that's fine with them. I don't, that's to each his own. But no, if I'm there to do this is my job. That's your job. Like that's what you're doing. Um, I'm only focused on one thing. Mr. Xylophone, would you ever do a scene yourself? No, I mean, I don't know if unless something changes and I get incredibly jacked and I'm like, you know what, fuck this, I don't give a shit. Uh, but there's a lot of other things that I've been pursuing and trying that uh, I don't know that I would like to focus on. This is a lot. Like the podcast and the full time job is a lot. So let's see. Hopefully by season 3, I'll get a whole bunch of sponsors and shit like that. I'm gonna have to sell this shit, and it's not going to be a hard sell either. I think it's very interesting um, what models do or have done and all that stuff. I find it all very interesting. Imaginary MDA. What's something you wish more people knew about the work that goes into porn? Okay, not everybody walks around the office naked. That's one thing. Not everybody's ready to have sex all the time. A lot of these guys, uh, they go home and they just hang out, they chill out, they relax. Uh, drug use is not as rampant as people would think, especially on set. For sure, I've only probably ever witnessed 2 to 3 people that were high on set, and that's not including weed. I don't include weed. That's fine. That just chills people out, so I'm okay with that. But high on anything else, like any huge chemical substance that would make for a bad situation. Only ever seen it like twice. What else? It's just a lot of work. You're not gonna get rich. Uh, you're not gonna buy a house in a month. Perfectly said by one of the models I just interviewed, Margot, I think, right? So yeah, so there's a lot of work that goes into it. Like I'll have, I want to reach more people with this and expand and do a couple of other things. And I plan on getting that all done before season 3. But imagine it's 2 seasons already, 30 episodes, almost 30 to 32 episodes, and it's a labor of love. Like you have to want to do certain things. Uh, Especially if you're a model, like you have to get up and if all these content creators get up, find your people, like find who you're going to work with, do the scene, do a good job on the scene, and then edit the scene and then promote the scene. It's a lot of fucking work. Omar, I love Madonna's intervention too. What does that song mean to you? Can you demystify it? It's definitely a poem from the heart. At first, I thought it was about her son. Uh, it's, yeah, I mean, it's about life for sure. To me, at least. I don't know. It's very underrated. Very, very underrated. Oh, I'll send you a message. You know what? I will listen to it again and I'll write while I'm listening to it and I'll send it to you, Omar. Alex, do you have any favorite straight performers? Do you follow any? Oh my God, I have so many. So many. Okay, I'll open it up for you. I have, I hope, I don't know if everybody does, but I have this drive that I take everywhere with me. And it's basically got like, my porn collection. I don't know if I'm the only person that has a porn collection. I'm pretty sure I'm not. But I have this drive and I take it with me because it's also my mobile work drive. So if I'm on a plane somewhere and I go down, that drive is going down with me because no one's going to find that shit. So I have the drive right next to me. There are a lot. Are we talking straight porn stars? that are active now, or because if they are, I'll give you a couple. Brick Danger, Bambino, who I almost got to do a solo for Treasure Island, but it didn't work out. Bruce Venture. I used to like Chris Strokes. I don't know what happened to him. J Mac is awesome. Jesse Jones. See, Oliver Flynn. I have a thing for redheads, man. Fucking Oliver Flynn is Oliver Flynn's a beautiful man, and he's worked. He's done some gay porn. Check it out. Uh, let's see, Tony Cabrio. Um, he's a huge dick, really good looking guy. Brazilian, I think. I'm not, or Portuguese. I'm not sure. Xander Corvus, Zach Wild. I'm trying to think of who else here. A couple of European models, a couple of models that I don't know their names because they've only ever done one scene, and they're really, really straight porn stars or street male porn stars are really, really hard to find. Yeah, yeah. Those are just a couple. There's a whole bunch. It really just depends on what mood you're in, right? And funny enough, I have a lot of them saved from like the 90s. Like I found them. I went and scourged like the internet trying to remember what was in the scene, like Latin guy, 95, whatever, like whatever comes into it, and then you just throw it on Google and see what happens and see what sticks. Let's see. So, what would you say to people who don't watch porn? Just kidding. I know those people don't exist. There might be a couple of people that have never seen porn. And to them, I don't know. What would I say to them? It's kind of like, those uncontacted tribes. You don't want to really fuck anything up for them, right? Like if they haven't seen it, why are you gonna throw all that shit at them? Because of all the times to introduce people to porn, like there's so much shit going on out there. Um, so yeah, Alberto Escamilla. ¿Por qué no me grabas en español? I don't know. ¿Por qué no me grabas en español? Are you a performer? ¿Por qué no me grabas en español basically just means why don't you record? Oh, ¿por qué no grabas en español? He's asking me why I don't record in Spanish. Fuck, I'd have to do two. I'd have to do one in English and one in Spanish. Or are you talking about the podcast? If you're talking about the podcast, I would love to translate them. It's just, I'm a one-man show, man. I'm trying to do it. I'd love to get all of this stuff done. I know that I can translate it or have it translated by people on Fiverr, if anything, and then you can put it into the metadata of YouTube. I think that Facebook might already do it, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I'll try. I would love to. I love that. Johnny Sins. I'm not a big Johnny Sins. I know he's attractive. I'm just not a big Johnny Sins fan. Alex Romero. I love all those guys. Tommy is from Spain. Okay, so Tommy Cabrio. Yeah. All right. I am slowly winding down here. And hopefully next time we see each other, I can probably play some music or something. But I just want to, if there are no more questions, okay, so Omar, do you know what was the first porn studio in the U.S. and does it still exist? The first porn studio straight or gay? Thank you, Ernest. Good night to you too. Both. I don't, but that would be very interesting, and I will look that up. I would assume it was one. A lot of them got eaten up by, not Raging Stallion. What's that? Channel One in the 2000s. So I'm not sure what they were, but if I find enough information and I meet people that can talk to me about it, I will make a video about it because that's interesting to me as well. Mr. Xylophone, thank you for your podcast and this Q&A. Thank you. Alex Romero, good night. Thank you so much for your answers. Say hi to Alex. Oh, thank you. All right, guys. I am going to call it quits tonight. I absolutely appreciate you guys for asking questions. And before you know, I want you to know how impressed I am with you and how you handle the troll army. Thank you so much. I was just about to say that. Thank you guys so much for helping with that troll army. It's it's gonna happen. It's fine. I just didn't expect that. Like that was fucking crazy. That was like 2 or 3 people. But thank you guys for like sticking in and reporting them and stuff. That's awesome. I absolutely appreciate that. So yeah, so like I said, guys, the last episode. Oh, thank you so much, Hermosa. Thank you, Erection. We got Champ Robinson's videographer watching on Instagram. Good guy. So yeah, don't forget, the last episode of Demystifying Gay Porn Season 2 is this Friday. It's Boomer Banks. Really good interview. Really, really like Oprah-ish. Like it was good. We sat down, we shot the shit. And then from there, like I said, I'm going to start putting together a whole bunch of videos and stuff and start getting ready for Season 3, which hopefully, well, I think this year was September. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to start September too. James, I love you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So yeah, so like I said, thank you so much for tuning in again. Don't forget to watch Think Big for Your Future Plans on the podcast. Thank you so much, Omar. I appreciate that. Yeah. Don't forget to watch the last episode, and I will let you know what's going on. And yeah, there we go. This is me signing off. All of you really have a good night. I absolutely appreciate you being here. Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Thank you so much. All right, how do I do this? There we go.